Welcome back to Sports Tonight from San Antonio's Sam Houston High School to the city of Texas, back to San Antonio as now a head basketball coach.
Now the head of one of this region's most successful girls hoops program over the last 10 years, Anissa Hastings is drawing from the success she's enjoyed. She looks forward to the next chapter of her life.
The power the sport has displayed in Anissa's life is obvious, but there are also the not so obvious ways in which athletics has proven to have lifelong effects. A local survey found that 3/4 of executives say an applicant's background in sports influenced hiring decisions. Anissa Hastings discusses her power of sport experience with our Courtney DuPont.
Another edition of Power of Sport. We're here with Anissa Hastings. She played basketball at the University of Texas. She's now the head basketball coach at Wagner High School here in San Antonio. She's a San Antonio native. Anissa, let's jump into your story. You've always been an athlete, but where did it all start, and when did it become a time where you couldn't give it up? It was something you had to do forever.
In middle school, I've always did volleyball, basketball, and track. I did all sports. When I got to high school, I did volleyball, basketball, and track. And I actually could have went to Texas to do volleyball as well, but I feel like I would have still been in school if I would have did volleyball and basketball. So I chose to do basketball, and sports was always my outlet, just from family issues that I had growing up. I fell in love to just stay away from those issues, and it was I was like, okay, I know I want to go to college. My grandmother does not have money to pay for me to go to college, so I have to get a scholarship.
So what was the big turning point where you were like, oh, I can actually go and get a scholarship? And how did that kind of influence your life, maybe outside of sports?
I think it was in the summertime. I was playing AAU with a few guy coaches, Coach Dillard and Coach Powell. Our team was pretty good. We had all the top players in San Antonio, and I had a pretty good tournament. I'm like, I might can do this. I might can get a scholarship, Sports definitely influenced me in my outside of basketball because it was just a way of life, It was definitely, like I said, a way out of different situations. I knew it was more out there that I could see, especially when I went to the University of Texas, being able to travel the world. Through basketball, I'm like, man, this is what life is really about. I can, get out there and do some things, based on basketball.
So what did basketball specifically teach you, just a life lesson overall? Something that, has stuck with you maybe morally? When
obstacles come your way, you have to persevere. In games, things happen, and you can't just, cry because one thing happened. You can't stop because one thing happened in basketball. So it definitely taught me that in life. When things happen in life, because things are going to happen, you got to persevere. Get up, try it again, keep going.
And keep moving, That's right. So is there a difference now in the way that you kind of look at the power of sport from being a player to now being a coach?
I don't think it's any different because I'm trying to instill the same thing in my players that other coaches that I had instilled in me. So I don't think it's any different because sports is definitely a great tool, a great avenue to teach you life lessons. Like I said, when things happen in sports or in life, because like I said, things are going to happen. You got to just keep going, and not just sit there and oh, I can't do this. You got to keep going and persevere.
Is there anything specific that you want to teach the young girls that you coach now at Wagner about the power of sport?
Definitely it's a great tool to teach you lessons, and also the camaraderie, the sisterhood. I still have several teammates that I talk to from UT. I still have high school teammates that I talk to, middle school teammates. We're sisters for life because we're around each other a lot when you're playing sports. You're around each other a lot, and you create that bond that definitely can't be broken. I have a few of my college teammates that are going to be in my wedding. So, it's just a sisterhood and that bond that you can always depend on somebody and have somebody to talk to when you're going through things in life.
That's awesome. We appreciate you coming in and talking about the power of sport with us today, Anissa.
Thank you for having me.